Picture this. You're sitting in your house. All of a sudden, you look to the door and water is flooding in. You run to grab all of your belongings as you attempt to evacuate. That's what the people living along the Mississippi River felt like during the flood of 2019. The Mississippi River is incredibly long, stretching through 10 states, including Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Floods can be created by weather and human-related factors. Major weather factors include heavy or prolonged precipitation, snowmelt, thunderstorms, storm surges from hurricanes, and ice or debris jam. Human factors include structural failures of dams and levees, altered drainage, and land cover alterations. There are different types of floods caused by different things. River flooding occurs when surface water drained from a watershed into a stream or river exceeds channel capacity, overflows the banks, and inundated adjacent low-lying areas. River flooding depends on precipitation as well as many other factors such as existing soil moisture conditions and snowmelt. The sea level rising also contributes to river flooding. This specific flooding was caused by a series of flood events in tributary basins. The 2019 Mississippi River flood is not the first flood to occur in Mississippi. The Mississippi River floods fairly frequently. There were several before, specifically the 1973 and 1927 floods that greatly impacted the surrounding area. The Mississippi River stretches very far and wide, but in particular to the 2019 flood, 8 states along the river were affected. As climate continues to change, it will only make flooding worse. Early snowmelt had an effect on the flooding of the river, no doubt caused by climate change. Anthropogenic factors will also cause future floods and increase longevity because human interaction is causing climate change, heavy downpour, and much more. This was the longest-lasting flood from the Mississippi River since the flood of 1927. The river flooding was extreme. In Iowa, the Public Works Department had to spend over $1 million on fighting floods this spring. The flood caused at least 12 deaths and had economic losses in excess of $20 billion. It caused a lot of crop and property loss as well as infrastructure damages. Shipments were delayed, which affected agricultural commodities. 19.3 million acres of crops went unplanted that year. The agricultural community took a huge hit because winter followed right after the flooding. This flood also impacted other rivers such as the Ohio and Missouri rivers, which feed into the Mississippi River. 41% of the contiguous U.S. and 15% of North America drain into the Mississippi River basin, so this flood created a lot of turmoil. There were 3 major rounds of flooding between March and September. Communities were flooded more than once with no time to clean up or prepare for the next flood. People had to evacuate their homes, and hundreds of homes were damaged or destroyed. Before and after the flood, communities and government made efforts to protect the people from flooding. Specifically, one tactic used is to open the Bonnet Carré spillway, which diverts water from the Mississippi River into Lake Pontchartrain, connected to the Gulf of Mexico. They also use levees to try and control the flooding, and they have the Mississippi River and Tributaries Project. It would seem that because the Mississippi is so long and connects to so many other things, controlling flooding and putting in regulations is increasingly hard for the Army Corps engineers. I would assume that based off past, people near the river regularly plan for flooding. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about the Mississippi flooding, visit the sources linked in this video.